Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football Bold Predictions for Dabo Swinney, the Clemson Tigers, heading into the 2025 year. An episode that I'm fired up to get into. Many of y'all know, God, I am very high on this Clemson football team going into the 2025 year, and I got some takes that I want to get off my chest around some of these football players. Now, before we get into it, I would encourage all the Clemson fans because I know every single one of y'all listening has that take y'all got. You want to get it off your chest. Please let it fly in the comment section. You know, if you're watching this in the middle of May, chances are you live and breathe this program, got some takes to share. I love reading the bold predictions you guys come up with in the comment section. Let it fly. Appreciate you guys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. I hope y'all enjoy this episode as much as I enjoyed putting it together. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to start with Cade, and I'm going to go 750 plus rushing yards in the 2025 year. Now, I could get up here and say Cade Kubnick's going to win the Heisman. I could get up here and say Cade Kubnick's going to go to New York City as a Heisman finalist. How bold does that take, really? I mean, you look at the preseason odds in terms of Heisman winners, Cade's pretty consistently in the top three of those odds. The reason I'm leaning into Cade's legs in 2025, really a couple of different reasons. Number one, I don't think many people appreciate the athlete that Cade Klubnik is at the quarterback position. I think there were times during Cade's career where Clemson maybe tried to protect him a little bit, not let him take as many hits. And look, Clemson's not going to want Cade taking 15, 20 plus hits in the 2025 year either. But as he's really filled out that frame, I think he's pushing like 215 pounds. Clemson became a little bit more comfortable using Cade Klubnik in his legs. I go back to the 2024 season. There were times where you kind of designed a few quarterback run plays for Cade that got Clemson out of some really difficult spots in the 2024 season. I think they're going to continue to do that in 2025. Now, I'm kind of leaning into I need them to make the ACC championship game. I probably need them to make a little bit of a run in the college football playoffs, probably get to 14, 15 games played on the year for this prediction to come through. And then the second part is Clemson wants to run the football, and you probably have a little bit of a question mark at the running back position. All right, well, if you want to start running the football, we know we got the offensive line, a very experienced offensive line. Get Cade involved a little bit more in the run game. I think that will help Clemson in a meaningful way in the 2025 year. Number two, Gideon Davidson, freshman All-American in the 2025 year. I believe this for a couple of different reasons. Number one, love Gideon Davidson coming out of high school. You heard really good things from this kid during the spring practice window. He's a 10.69 guy in the 100-meter dash that's had a phenomenal winter for Clemson in the weight room, kind of pushing 200 pounds. He's a player that I think is physically ready and good enough to play early for Clemson. But I think the overall thing is they're going to need him. I mean, you look at this running back room, there's not a ton of proven guys, especially with Jay Haynes nursing that injury. Adam Randall, I think, is going to be used, and I think we're all very excited about what Adam Randall can be at the running back position. But do we think Adam Randall can handle a workload of 20 to 25 carries a game? I think the jury's still out on that. I mean, Adam Randall was a guy that struggled to stay healthy playing wide receiver. And I'm not saying Adam Randall's going to get hurt. I'm saying, hey, does Clemson want to run Adam Randall 20 plus times a game? I think Gideon Davidson's probably the best back in this room. I think they're going to need to use him in the 2025 year. And I think he's going to be one of, if not the most productive running backs in the 2025 year. Number three, I'm going to go three wide receivers going for 800 plus receiving yards. I think we all know who those pass catchers are going to be in TJ Moore, Brian Wesco, and Antonio Williams. Look, I feel really good. This is probably the best wide receiver trio that you see in the country. I mean, it's a miracle because you go back to how we were talking about this football team 12 months ago. We're like, is this wide receiver room even close to being good enough? Like, we knew we had a dog in Antonio Williams. Aren't really sure what the freshmen were going to be. We quickly found out. Now, why I'm so high on this prediction is I don't think Clemson realized how good TJ Moore and Brian Wesco were until halfway through the season. You look at the first three games, Brian Wesco only had 6 targets in the first 3 weeks. And then you look at the last 3 games, he had double-digit targets in every single one of those games. The same goes for TJ Moore, who had 7 targets the first 3 weeks, had 29 targets the last 3 games of the season. They're going to use these 2 young cats a lot more in 2025. We know what Antonio Williams is. The only reason this prediction doesn't work out here is if Tristan Smith's eating up a lot of targets as well as Tyler Brown coming back from injury. This is, I mean, we've seen Clemson have some really talented wide receiver rooms. This is, I think, has the chance to be one of the more talented wide receiver rooms we've seen Clemson have in a very long time, to go along with the quarterback that we think's probably going to be a Heisman finalist. Very good combination. Defensive side of the football, this one fires me up the most, and this one really does highlight like how inexcusable the defensive performance was last year under Wes Goodwin. This defense ain't that much different than what we saw in the 2024 year. I think he got 7 NFL draft picks alone on the defensive side of the football. And I think you have a couple of guys who are fringe. And then I think you have a couple of guys that they're going to be NFL draft picks. They just ain't old enough to go to the NFL. I mean, you talk about the 7 locks that I have to be selected in the NFL draft in 12 months. TJ Parker and Peter Woods, ain't no doubt about that. DeMonte Capehart, 100%. Will help. He's going to be a draft pick. Whether he comes back for one more year or not is to be determined. Wade Woodaz is going to the NFL. Avian Terrell is going to the NFL. You have a couple of fringe guys like Stephylan Green or a guy like Shelton Lewis, guy like Khalil Barnes. You have guys like Sammy Brown and Mari Adams. They're going to the NFL when they're old enough. This is a defense that is chocked full with NFL talent and massively underperformed. I think many Clemson fans probably remember this. 12 months ago, I said I thought this Clemson defense would be top 5 in the country. And I took some heat for it in the comment section, and I was dead wrong about it in the 2024 year. I don't think I was wrong on my evaluation of the talent on defense. I was just wrong on how it came together. If Tom Allen can put all this NFL draft talent together, you're looking at a defense that can be elite, questionably, in the 2025 year. Here's another one, top 10 in the country in run defense. One, because look at all the NFL draft picks we just listed. Their majority of them are in the front 7. Like, this front 7 should be very, very good against the run. Then you look at Tom Allen. Everywhere Tom Allen's been, he's been elite stopping the run. And so I look at Tom Allen with Penn State last year, only giving up, 3.7 yards per carry. That was top 7 in the country. Look, I know Abdul Carter was really good. I think you could make the argument that this front 7 between the defensive line and the backers might be a better unit than what Penn State had in the 2024 year. What's the reason that Tom Allen can't do this with Clemson? And I would remind you, that was 1 year with Tom Allen at Penn State. It wasn't like he's been there for 3 years. We've seen Tom Allen one offseason revolutionize the defense. He's got the talent to do that in the run defense. And then the other one is top 10 in sack percentage. Penn State was that last year as well. Now, they had a guy like Abdul Carter. Well, guess what? Clemson's got TJ Parker. They got Peter Woods, DeMonte Capehart, and Will Hell. And I think Will Hell, he's very good against the run. I think there's another level he can reach as a pass rusher in 2025. And then you have linebackers, Wade Woodaz, but I think mostly a guy like Sammy Brown or a guy like Jeremiah Alexander, who, look, I'm not going to get up here and say they're going to be Abdul Carter 2.0 for Clemson. These linebackers can get after the passer, and we know Tom Allen likes to use his linebackers in the pass rush. There's no reason in terms of the talent this football team has that they can't be top 10 in the country in run defense and top 10 in the country in sack percentage. This defense has a very, very high ceiling, and if Tom Allen can unlock that, you're looking at a defense that kind of reminds you of the Brent Venables era, to go along with an offense that has a great trio of wide receivers, a Heisman finalist caliber quarterback. Lot of takes to be had around this Clemson football team. Those are my bold predictions for this football team in 2025. Y'all let it fly in the comment section. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.